What up? Welcome to another deck profile. Today we're sticking with Final Fantasy. We're covering Sephiroth, the Fabled Soldier. Who is Sephiroth? He's some dude from Final Fantasy VII. That's all you need to know. He's a little more than that, but whatever. He's a 3 mana 3/3. It's mono black. Whenever he enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. And whenever another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. If this is the 4th time this ability is resolved this turn, transform Sephiroth. So he's a blood artist, and he also sacks on ETB or attack. Now, the big part is when you transform him, he becomes a 5/5 flyer with Supernova, which is as he transforms into Sephiroth, the one-winged angel, you get an emblem with whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life, you gain a life. So this is a blood artist emblem, essentially. And whenever he attacks, you may sacrifice any number of other target creatures. If you do, draw that many cards. So you can sack a lot of things, you can draw a lot of cards if you need to. It's also just a blood artist emblem, which is crazy good. Yeah, so it's just kind of like an Aristocrats mono black deck, similar to what you'd see with maybe like a Yawgmoth or other things. We got Altar of Ball. This is a artifact that's also an adventure. You can pay 3 sorcery speed to make a 4/1 black skeleton creature token. And the main one is you pay 2 and a black, tap it, exile a creature you control to return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield at sorcery speed. So it's kind of like a reanimate, except you don't lose life and you're sacrificing, or you're exiling a creature instead. Arcane Signet is just ramp. Ashnod's Altar, this is a good sack outlet. It lets you hit your commander, transform, and also just ramps you. Bontu's Monument is black mana, or black reduction, everything costs 1 less, and whenever you cast a creature spell, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain a life. It's just a good generic card, and black, I think black needs a little bit of ramp. Jet Medallion, same as Bontu's, but it just has the one effect to make black spells cost 1 less. Lightning Greaves to protect your Sephiroth. Skull Clamp because, I don't know, pay 1 attached to something that you're about to sacrifice, draw an extra 2 cards. Pretty good. Soul Ring because it's a Soul Ring, it goes in every deck. Swiftfoot Boots, again to protect your Sephiroth. The Darkness Crystal, this is a new card. I think this card's crazy. Black spells cost 1 less, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, it's 4 mana when you could Jet Medallion for 2. But if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile it and you gain 2 life. And then for 6 you can put a creature card exile with the Darkness Crystal onto the battlefield tapped under your control with 2 additional 1/1 counters on it. So this is almost like a Dothy Voidwalker effect where things going to the grave are getting exiled instead now, and you can bring them back. Obviously it's only like from the field if they would die, so it doesn't beat milling. But yeah, the fact that I can reanimate anything that an opponent creature dies, pretty good. Masamune is kind of in the deck because it's Sephiroth. It also works really well with Sephiroth. So as long as equipped creature is attacking, it has first strike and must be blocked to Fable. Equipped creature has if a creature dying causes a triggered ability of this creature or an emblem you own to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So this works with your transform Sephiroth emblem. This works with the Sephiroth trigger as well. It kind of just fits the deck. And it's just Sephiroth's weapon, so it's like a good flavor with. On to creatures, Icarus Marauder. This is kind of just 2 mana turn flip Sephiroth, because this and each opponent will sacrifice a creature, that's 4 deaths, it flips them. It's also just a really strong card. Blood Artist, because you're already playing Blood Artist in the command zone, might as well split in the main deck. Bloodghast is a landfall return from graveyard to battlefield, so you can sack them, play a land, sack them again. Good value card. Oh no, Bogart Trawler. This is a Bajuka Bog on a creature or a MDFC that can come in untapped, so might as well play it. Carrion Feeder is a sack outlet, just a very good card in general. Cryptghast, 4 mana, make all your swamps tap for an additional black, and it has Exort, so whenever you cast a spell you can pay a white or a black, and have each opponent lose 1 life and gain that much life. It's a little bit of life gain as well. Dark Confidant, Final Fantasy card, also just a really good card in general. Beginning of your upkeep, reveal top card of your library, put that card into your hand, you lose life equal to its mana cost. Yeah, solid card. Dothy Voidwalker, 2 mana, 3/2 with Shadow. If a card will be put into opponent's graveyard from anywhere, instead exile it with a void counter on it, and then you can sack this creature, choose an exiled card an opponent owns with a void counter, and play it this turn for free. So it's cool. Yeah, this is a very good card as well. Defiler Flesh, 4 mana, 4/4 menace. As an additional cost to cast black permanent spells, you can pay 2 life instead of a black. So it makes every spell 1 Phyrexian black instead of 1 black. in one of the costs. And then whenever you cast a black permanent spell, you give a creature +1/+1 and menace. This can let your Sephiroth hit, or let anything else hit, because menace and 1/1 pretty good. Erebos, 4 mana, 5/6 god. As long as your devotion to black is less than 5, it's not a creature. Whenever another creature dies, you may pay 2. You control dies, you may pay 2, draw a card. It's a good way to draw when you're sacking things. And then you can pay 2, sack a creature to give a creature -2/-1 until end of turn. Fleshbag Marauder, same as a Curse Marauder, except it's a 3 mana 3/1 instead of a 2 mana 2/1. It's the only difference. Forsaken Miner, 1 mana 2/2 can't block. Whenever you commit a crime, you can pay a black and return Forsaken Miner from your graveyard to the battlefield. This means, similar to the Bloodghast, you can sack them to an effect, target something with a spell, pay another black, bring them back, do it again, get another trigger going. Yeah, very solid just value card. Gary, or Gray, Merchant of Asphalt in the deck. Whenever it enters, each one lose X life, where X is your devotion to black, you gain life equal to the amount of life lost. It's just a very strong card in any deck that has a lot of black pips or has a lot of easy ways to sack it and bring it back, which it does. Crick, 7 mana 2/2 lifelink. For each black, you can make it a Phyrexian mana instead, and then whenever you cast a black spell, put a 1/1 counter on Crick. So this is kind of just a way to reduce all your costs. It's a pretty good card, so I decided to throw it in the deck. Karavek Punisher, 3 mana 3/3. This card's crazy. Whenever you commit a crime, so targeting an opponent, anything they control under cards in their graveyard, exile up to 1 target black card from your graveyard and copy it. You may cast a copy. If you do, lose 2 life. So this can just pretty much bring back anything, or bring back a copy of anything. This can be a removal. This can be a really good value creature that you want. This can be a, whatever. Very strong card. Marionette Apprentice, 2 mana 1/2, fabricate 1. So when it enters, you put a 1/1 counter on a creature, or you make a 1/1 color servo. You pretty much always make the servo. And whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. So yeah, this will drain, and it makes a 1/1. Massacre Worm, 6 mana 6/5, enters. Every creature opponents control get -2/-2. And then whenever creature opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. It's a good card. Mikaeus, 6 mana 5/5, Intimidate. Whenever a human deals combat damage to you, destroy it. And just other non-humans get +1/+1, have Undying, so when they die, they come back with a 1/1 counter on them. This card is, again, just like a super good value piece when you're sacking a lot of things. Morbid Opportunist, whenever one or more creatures die, draw a card, triggers once per turn. It's just a draw engine. Ophiomancer, 3 mana 2/2 at the beginning of each upkeep. If you don't have a snake, you make a 1/1 snake with Death Touch. Great token generator, especially for like a Carrion Feeder or Viscera Seer, to just get a lot of value out of it. Playcrafter, when it enters, each player sacrifices a creature. Each player who can't discard this card, it's a Marauder effect. Vincent Valentine, I'm super high on this card right now. I think this card is kind of a little underrated. So whenever a creature opponent controls dies, put a number of 1/1 counters on Vincent equal to that creature's power. And then whenever he attacks, you transform it. He transforms into a 3/2 trample lifelink, Galleon Beast. And when Galleon Beast dies, you just return it to the battlefield tapped face up. So you kill something, you get a bunch of 1/1 counters. It's just essentially a free swing, because even if he dies, he will just come back as Vincent again. I think this card is really, really good. Viscera Seer, great sack outlet. Yawgmoth, I hate this card. Super broken sack outlet. Pay a life, sack a creature, put a -1/-1 counter on a creature, and draw a card. And you can pay 2, discard a card, Proliferate, which I don't think I've ever seen anybody do with this deck. Xenos Galvus is one of the new 5 mana 4/4 Final Fantasy cards. He is my first friend, so whenever he enters, choose a creature an opponent controls. Till end of turn, creatures other than Xenos Galvus and the chosen creature get -2/-2. So this is a Massacre Worm, but it also hits your own things. And then whenever the chosen creature leaves the battlefield, you transform Xenos into Shinryu, Transcendent Rival. Flying 8/8 as this creature transforms into Shinryu, you choose an opponent. And whenever the chosen player loses the game, you win the game. So kill whatever, transform them, and then kill somebody that you choose and you win the game. Pretty good card. I mean, it's 5 mana. It has a Massacre Worm like effect though, so I think this card's really good. On the enchantments, Animate Dead, it's just recursion. A lot of this text, it just brings something back. It has -1/-0. That's all you have to know. Bastion of Remembrance, 3 mana, make a human soldier, and whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Value engine with your sack outlets. Phyrexian Reclamation, pay 2 life, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Just a good like recursion piece in this deck. And on an instance, Baleful Mastery, you may pay 2 rather than pay a spell's mana cost, exile target creature Planeswalker, and if you pay the 2, that opponent or an opponent draws a card, so it doesn't have to be the guy that you're targeting. 2 mana exiling something in black is pretty good. I'm super high on this card right now. Cryptic Conviction, 1 mana as an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. That's completely fine, you like sacking creatures. Dark Ritual, it's Dark Ritual, you're playing mono black. Deadly Dispute, sack something, draw 2, make a treasure. Again, another very good card. Defile, give a creature -1/-1 until end of turn for each swamp you control. You're playing mono black, so you have a lot of swamps. Very good card. Dismember is essentially 1 mana, pay 4 life, give something -5/-5. So, again, super good card. Go for the throat, destroy target non-artifact creature. Infernal Grasp, 2 mana, destroy target creature, you lose 2 life. Overkill, this card is actually really, really good. Target creature gets -0, -9999 until end of turn. This will pretty much just kill anything. Like, no matter what. It gets through Indestructible, it gets through those really beefy creatures. Very good card. Tragic Slip, target creature gets -1/-1, if gets -13/-13, if another creature died this turn. So yeah, just like a very good generic value piece. You play this after you play something that kills something, and it's just like a 1 mana removal. Village Rites, sack a creature, draw 2 cards. Withering Torment, destroy target creature or enchantment, you lose 2 life. Just enchantment removal in black, which they don't have a lot of. I'll go through the Planeswalkers, cover the lands last because they're pretty boring. Lolth, I think it's Lolth, Spider Queen. 5 mana for when a creature you control dies, put a loyalty counter on Lolth. For 0, you can draw a card and lose 1 life. For -3, you can make 2/2/1 black spider creature tokens with menace and reach. And -8, you get an emblem with whenever an opponent is dealt combat damage by 1 or more creatures you control. If that player lost less than 8 life this turn, they lose life equal to the difference. So I think just like make people lose 8 life. I don't know. I don't think the emblem on this is very good. I think you're doing this to just make 2/2/1 black spider creature tokens every turn. And then when they die, it's essentially a -1 at that point. And that's only counting them and not everything else that can be dying during a commander match. And then Tevish Zat, Dooms of Fools. You can +2 to make 2/0/1 black thralls. You can +1 to sacrifice another creature Planeswalker and draw 2, then draw another if the sacrifice permanent was a commander, typically not doing. And then -10, gain control of all commanders, put all commanders from the command zone on the battlefield under control. People are going to hate on this card a lot because of the -10 once you play it, but it's just a +2 to make thralls and a +1 to maybe draw 2 occasionally. Onto the sorceries, Blasphemous Edict. This is one of the best board wipes in black right now. It's essentially 1 mana, each player sacrifices 13 creatures. It's a 1 mana board wipe in black. That gets around Indestructible, Hexproof, all that stuff. Dread Return, 4 mana, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You can also sack 3 creatures to this, which will help your Sephiroth. Feed the Swarm, destroy a creature enchantment, lose life equal to its mana value. Again, enchantment removal in black. Mutilate is a 4 mana board wipe. All creatures get -1/-1 till end of turn for each swamp you control. Obviously, early on in the game, this isn't that crazy, but once you're up to like 7 or 8 swamps, this is just hitting everything. Night's Whisper, 2 mana, draw 2, lose 2 life. Persist is return target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter on it. Again, this is a very good reanimate card. Reanimate as well, put target creature card from your graveyard on the battlefield under your control. You lose life equal to its mana value. Silent Blood, draw 2, lose 2. Toxic Deluge, super good board wipe. Pay X life in addition to the normal cost to give everything -X/-X until end of turn. So it's similar to Mutilate. And then Victimize. This card is super good. Choose 2 target creature cards in your graveyard. Sacrifice a creature. If you do, return the chosen cards to the battlefield tapped. So I don't believe that the sacrifice is actually part of the cost. So if this gets counterspelled, you don't actually sacrifice a creature, which is nice. And yeah, it's like you can sack a token, bring back 2 bombs from your graveyard. They enter tapped. Whoop-de-doo. Is a very, very good card. Will of the Abzan, 4 mana, choose 1. If you have your controller, choose both. Any number of target opponents each sacrifice a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls and lose 3 life. And return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So this reanimates and is a Force of Malice, I believe the card is. Yeah, where each opponent sacrifices the biggest power among creatures they have. So yeah, let's quickly go to the lands. It's 34 Swamps in Midgar. I wanted to try playing this. So it has the adventure side is a 3 mana, sacrifice a creature, draw 2, which is obviously 1 or 2 more mana than what you want. Like Deadly Dispute is 2 mana and you make a treasure. Village Rites is 1 mana and you do it, and they're instants instead of sorceries. So it is pretty much worse in every way, but it's also attached to a land. Unfortunately, the land is tapped, but you can just play around that by playing a swamp instead. I think this card probably one of the better ones that they printed with the adventure on them. Alright, yeah, and a bunch of swamps. On the maybe board, Cabal Coffers, Cabal Stronghold, and Urborg. If you want to like super pimp out this deck, those cards are really expensive. Pay 2, add a black for each swamp, and then pay 3, add a black for each basic swamp. And then Urborg, every land is a swamp. So yeah, those are both very, like, those 3 cards are very good to put in a mono black deck. They're obviously very expensive though. Case of the Stash Skeleton, when it enters, you make a 2/1 skeleton and suspect it, which means it has menace, can't block. To solve the case, you don't have a suspected skeleton, and once it's solved, you can pay 2, sack this case, search your library for a card, put it in your hand, shuffle. It's a tutor. It also makes a token, so it's one of the like probably better tutors I would play in this deck that are more on theme, that aren't just Diabolic Tutor or Diabolic Tutor or Imperial Seal or whatever. Diabolic Intent is sack a creature, search for a card, put it in your hand. Again, I put this in this maybe board because it has a sack creature, so it kind of fits the theme of the deck a little more than just your generic tutors. It's obviously worse than your generic tutors, but that's fine. Flare of Malice, 4 mana, or you can sack a non-token black creature card rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. So yeah, this is just a good way to have opponents sacrifice big creatures. Grave Pact, if you want everybody to hate you because you're running a lot of sack effects and having just creature dies is really good for you. Yeah, Grave Pact will make everybody really salty and want to kill you right away. But hey, that's up to you if you want to play that or not. Nykthos, I mean, you're playing mono black, might as well play a land that has devotion in it. Again, this card though, super expensive. It's like a very bougie upgrade, I think. Pawn of Ulamog's 3 mana 2/2. Whenever it or another non-token creature you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you may put a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token on the battlefield. It has sacrifice, add 1 black, or add 1 mana to your pool. This will just help you, when something dies, generate another token, which you can then sack later on for more value or do whatever with. And then Reassembling Skeleton. I don't think this card's very good, but I see the value in it. It's just 2 mana, keep returning it to the battlefield tapped, and then you can like keep sacking it for value. Unfortunately, it's 2 mana though, and it's a 1/1. Is it good enough to play? Yes, but I just don't like this card. We'll quickly go through some Recs. There's probably just gonna be a lot of like generic black cards in here. Zulaport Cutthroat, I think it's kind of whatever, because it's only creatures you control die. Pitiless Splendor, again, creatures you control. You want to be killing a lot of opponents' creatures instead. I think Warren Soul Trader is a very good sack outlet, but for a premium price, just play Yawgmoth instead, or play both. It's up to you, really. Bojuka Bog, I don't like this card. I like Bojuka Bog in concept, but it enters tapped, so I don't like it that much. Bitter Blossom makes a token every upkeep, very good. Jadar will make a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed every end step you have. Unfortunately, it's not every turn, or else it'd be better. Ayara, First of Lochwin, whenever it or another black creature enters the battlefield under your control, each one lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. And you can tap, sack another black creature, draw a card. It's alright, but it's tapped to sack, so Braids is a good card, but Phyrexian Tower, another great bougie card. Tap it, sack creature, add 2 black. Phyrexian Altar, if you want to run this instead of Ashnod's Altar. I think both are probably good enough to play. Again, Black Market Connections, a very good generic black card. Meathook Massacre and Meathook Massacre 2 probably could fit in the deck with all the creature removal you have. Cabal Stronghold, actually already just in the maybe board. Dreadhorde Invasion makes token, or amasses one every upkeep. Every single one of your upkeeps. Deadly Rollick, Bolas Citadel are both like amazing cards, but Deadly Rollick at least a little expensive. Bolas Citadel, surprisingly cheap. Dictate of Erebos, similar to Grave Pact. And then, like, yeah, Damnation is a really, really good board wipe. 9 Lives Familiar, at first I was like, this card's crazy, and then I realized it comes back at the end of the turn, so it's not that crazy. Sir Conrad, I think's alright, but kind of weird in the deck. But yeah, that's it. That's Sephiroth, the Fabled Soldier. This card is crazy expensive, by the way. I did not realize the base rarity is like $50. Now, obviously, I'm recording this June 2nd, and the pre-releases are on June 6th, so the set is almost 2 weeks away from just being openly released. I say openly, but like most game stores sell their product on pre-release day, from what I've experienced. But yeah, let me know. Are you gonna be playing this? What Final Fantasy commanders are you interested in? I've obviously covered a few. I'm gonna be covering a few more. I might make a few more videos throughout the week, just because there's so much Final Fantasy stuff to cover, and there are so many good commanders that you can build. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back another time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.